Hi, Kevin Blanch, October 20th, 2010. This is the Spiral Jetty. That's it right there. Smithson. I live in Ogden. I've been involved in the art community my entire life. This is the Great Salt Lake. I'm doing a little documentary on the region. But anyway, this is the rock. What a crazy landscape. This is the Great Salt Lake. I got it up, the camera up here on top of my pickup. This road's something getting out here. Now I live on the other side of the lake, right over there. We live in Ogden. Okay. The Golden Spike where it was driven is right up the road from here. This road's rougher than hell getting out here. But anyway, in 1970, when Smith, and I'm going to get down here. Now we got this camera set. Hopefully you can hear my voice. In 1970, when Smithman did this, my grandpa, Abraham Hunsaker the fifth, owned the gravel pit, the famous gravel pit up there in Ogden. He was the dirt. My dad worked for him. I remember Smithson, when the bid went out, Busenbark, Abe Hunsaker, I'm sure Whitaker, all those dirt contractors, all bid on this, looked at it. I think they all might have worked out. But I remember shaking Smithson's hand. I was 10 years old then. My grandpa told me all about it. The art movement was pretty big in Utah at the time. Anyway, like I said, he built this because of the redness of the water. He'd been flowing over this. And the reason it's red, as you look all the way across here, the causeway, the UP causeway built in 1904, went across right there. I live right on the other side of the causeway, west of Ogden, Utah. Well, the causeway, my tripod's having problems. The causeway was wood. One of the greatest feats ever built with old growth redwood. That's when they annihilated the redwoods in California. The only place on earth they grow. They annihilated them to build that causeway. Well, in 1959, they built a ballast one, solid with some drainage that supposedly flowed through it. Well, it never worked, and over time, this side of the lake, because of the natural flow, got redder and redder and redder and redder. In the summertime, this lake on the shores will go beet bright red. And that's why Smith, when he was flying over, got this idea right here for this, because of the redness. Now, the lake has receded so far because of this dry cycle we're in. You can see there's no water around it. Now, we're going to walk out there and get some footage of this thing. Like I said, you talk to 99.999999% of anybody from Utah and Ogden, they ain't got a clue what you're even talking about. This is as rural as it gets out here. I used to have a key across the causeway, and I would drive out here, and there's a bunch of environmental art. But I'm going to stay on this thing. I'm going to show you some footage of the old trestle. I'm going to show you some old footage of, there's some pipe art out here. It's beautiful. I got footage of the tree that Mormon did. He was an Iranian-born Swedish artist that built that out by Wendover. You've seen my footage of that. That's completely on the other side of the lake. 90 miles long this lake is. We're on the very, very north shores. Out there where that tree is on the very, very south shores. But anyway, I'm going to get some footage of this out here. It's a spectacular, beautiful day. That's it. I hope you can see it. I'm going to walk out there. That's the rock they used. Like I said, in 1970, I remember shaking his hand. He was staying in a hotel in Brigham. The bid went out. My grandpa, Abraham Hunsaker the fifth, my dad, you know, a bunch of those dirt contractors worked out on this thing. But I remember being standing there with my grandpa and my dad, shaking his hand. Like I said, we'll shoot another one. My name is Kevin Blanch, born and raised right here in Ogden, Utah. Like I said, the Golden Spike's right here, 1869. Well, I was 9 years old on the 100-year anniversary. It was a major, major, major party out here. Ogden had a celebration for the whole year. Every school kid came out here. Johnny Cash was out here. And we'll all get some footage of that. But what spectacular landscape it is out here. But I'm going to walk out across this salt flats right now and get some more footage. Kevin Blanch, October 2010. Smithson's Spiral Jetty. Built in 1970. I was out here when he built it with my dad. His name was Dwayne Blanch. My grandpa Abraham Saker V. I remember standing right out here on this landscape when it was being built.